Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, now I want to talk about this coming up long-awaited transit of Jupiter as it transits into the sign of Aries. Jupiter predominantly stays in a sign for 1 year, and it's so good to know what sign it's in for yourself, because then you know where Jupiter is in your chart, and that's always going to give you an idea of where there's the greatest opportunity that's going to be happening for you that year. But in this video, I want to talk about how Jupiter is going to be affecting the world. And yes, I'm going to give some reference points to where you can note where it is in your chart. Now remember, I do Vedic sidereal astrology. So those of you who are going, wait a minute, I didn't know Jupiter was in Aries. No, it is sidereally. And let me point this out. Sidereal astrology is actually the true locations of where the planets are astronomically, according to astronomy. And that's a pretty important thing to recognize, realize, and wrap your head around. When I discovered that, I wanted to learn more and more about Vedic astrology, which incorporates the sidereal method, which sidereal means star. So therefore, these are where the planets are relative to the stars, and the stars are what constitute the signs. So as Jupiter's moving, it's going to change and go into Aries the 21st of April this year, 2023. Okay, so before I continue on, please give me a minute to tell you about my free newsletter. Go to my website, galacticcenter.org, and sign up for my free newsletter. You'll get all of my predictions delivered to your email address, absolutely free. But if you want a lot more information, articles written by some of the most profound thinkers in the metaphysical astrology world, get my magazine. Comes out every month, Joni Patry's Astrology Insights. You can find that also on my website. It's a stellar magazine. It's only $9.99 a month. Try it for 1 month. You'll be hooked. It's incredible. I'm very, very proud of it. Also, don't forget, I have a brand new book out, Astrologer's Secrets. You can find that on my website too, my best tools and techniques. And I teach Vedic astrology at one of the biggest online universities, all self-paced. And that you can find all that information on universityofvedicastrology.com. So let me continue on with all this valuable information about Jupiter. So it is April 21st, 2023, that Jupiter is going to go into the sign of Aries. And this is really important because what's been in Aries for about a year is Rahu. Rahu stays in a sign for 1.5 years. So Rahu and Jupiter will be together in the sign of Aries from April 21st of 2023, while Jupiter joins forces with Rahu. And Rahu will leave the end of November. So between April through November, Jupiter and Rahu are together. And Rahu magnifies everything it's with. And many times, because the nodes, Rahu and Ketu, remember the north node of the moon is Rahu, they're where the eclipses are going to be falling. Very important. Eclipses are one of the biggest determinants of prediction in astrology. So what we're going to find is Jupiter coming together with Rahu. Sometimes they say that planets with the nodes, because that's the area of the zodiac where eclipses are occurring, will be eclipsed. So Jupiter will be eclipsed. And generally that is not a good thing. Now Jupiter's the great benefic, right? It's the planet that brings opportunities, expansion, wealth. And with Rahu, notoriously, it has not been the most wealth producing, as you might think, with Rahu being the planet that expands, expels, gets everything bigger and better. And well, really, I can't say better, but it's all about desire. Intention and desire is what Rahu is. And it is a indicator of destiny, of things to come. Now, let me point out the last time that Jupiter was with Rahu was actually, now this is a biggie, so take this in. Jupiter was with Rahu in Aries. Now remember, Jupiter is in a sign every 12 years, okay? So, and give or take, but approximately, because Jupiter stays in a sign per 1 year. So if it stays in a sign per 1 year, then to go through all 12 signs of the zodiac, guess what? It takes 12 years. Okay, so with that being said though, when the time that they both came together, Rahu and Ketu take 18.5 years to go through all 12 signs of the zodiac. But the last time that they were together in Aries, get this, was 1929, around May of 1929. And really, it was the end of March through most of May for about 2 months. March, April, May, Jupiter was with Rahu in Aries. They didn't stick together for very long, so only about 2 months. Do you realize what happened in 1929? Yep. Those of you that are in the know, it was the biggest stock market crash that began the Great Depression. So some people are thinking that this conjunction with Jupiter and Rahu could produce that. You know, another time I think about when Jupiter came together with Rahu, it was in 2001. Jupiter and Rahu were together in Gemini during September 11th. So Jupiter-Rahu has not always been that great. But I think even though they were together for a very short time, in the year of 1929, will it bring the same circumstances that it did at that point in time? That's a very good question. A lot is going on in the world, and a lot is going on with Jupiter in Aries. Aries is the sign of new beginnings. It's the sign that deals with new starts, new beginnings, and it's the birth of things. Now, in Vedic astrology, we look at the nakshatras that they're in as well. There's 27 nakshatras, and they are smaller portions of the zodiac with deep, rich meanings relative to the groupings of stars that are in that portion of the zodiac. These are the nakshatras. And so the nakshatras are relative to the stars as well. So Jupiter will be in the nakshatra Ashwini when it enters into Aries. Ashwini extends from the first 13 degrees 20 minutes of the sign. So Jupiter will stay in this nakshatra till from April 21st, so it's going to be moving at tip-top speed because it will pass out of Ashwini by June 21st. So between April 21st and June 21st, we have Jupiter in the nakshatra Ashwini. Now, Ashwini is the nakshatra that does deal with transportation and travel. And it does have a lot to do with healing. So there's going to be so many developments and new discoveries within the area of health and healing. And I've always said that this whole coronavirus thing will bring about an awareness and in some way a healing. Doesn't seem that way, but you know, whenever there's a problem, we got to find answers, and those answers usually answer more things than what we were searching for. So people are digging, looking for answers. And I think this has everything to do with healing. So as Jupiter transits through this nakshatra, you'll find that there's going to be some kind of issues around transportation that needs to be healed. And yes, we've had our fair share of problems in transportation around the world with trains, with airlines. This has to be looked at, and this has to come to a revelation and a realization and a change. I think Jupiter in Aries will do this, especially in this nakshatra. Now, looking at June 1st, that is the day that Jupiter will be exactly conjunct Rahu. And they're going to come together at 9 degrees of Aries. So if you have any planets at 9 degrees of Aries, look out, you've got some good things coming, because both these planets of expansion and new beginnings will bring some expanded new beginning into your life. That's a guarantee. And I want to say that when Jupiter goes into Aries, it's going to be a big, massive reset of everything. And this has been long awaited and needs to happen and is coming. The big reset. That's what Jupiter in Aries will bring to us, because guess what else happens to be transiting right now in Aries? Planet Uranus, the planet of change, awakening, disruption, revolution, rebellion. That's Uranus. But Jupiter with Uranus is usually a major windfall of luck of some sort. So I'm looking forward to this being quite a difference and a radical shift and change while Jupiter is with Rahu in Aries, because Uranus is there. It will be a while till Jupiter can catch up and exactly conjoin Uranus, because Uranus is transiting in the latter degrees of Aries. But I will tell you, April 21st through the 22nd of 2024, Jupiter and Uranus will conjunct at 27 degrees of Aries. If you have any planets, 27 degrees of Aries, look out. This will be the year of sudden, unexpected change that will be extraordinary and exciting for you. Okay? So then soon after, by May 1st of 2024, that is going to be when Jupiter will transit into Taurus, leave Aries. So once again, Jupiter will be transiting in the sign of Aries from April 21st of 2023 till May 1st of 2024. And soon after, in the month of May of 2024, both Uranus and Jupiter will be going into Taurus, where they will remain and stir things up big time for the world. And I think it's going to bring more stability after this radical shift of Jupiter, stirring the pot and awakening so many people to the new, the unexpected, massive, major changes, Jupiter, Rahu, and Uranus. So by April of 2024, there's going to be some amazing awakenings. And you know, in Aries, it's a new beginning. And I want to say this with technology and cars and transportation, we are going to go to another high, another level of change with how we move, how we transport things, how we travel. I guarantee you there's going to be discoveries that are going to make the world different. Yes, there's going to be a major opportunity in this area. So look for that if you're looking for new opportunities. Now, June 21st, when Jupiter does leave the nakshatra Ashwini, it's going to go into the nakshatra Bharani. And Bharani's symbol, that nakshatra, deals with the woman's uterus and deals with birthing. So what does this mean? A new breakthrough, new birthing, things anew that are going to be happening while Jupiter is transiting in Bharani. And Jupiter will be in Bharani. It will be from, now it's going to be back and forth because of course Jupiter's going to go retrograde. So Jupiter will enter into Bharani June 21st. So September 4th, when Jupiter does turn retrograde, Jupiter will be at 21 degrees of Aries, and by December 30th when it turns direct. Jupiter will turn direct at 11 degrees of Aries. It's kind of interesting that every time Jupiter has its retrograde process, it will always transit approximately 10 degrees backwards. So if you'll notice 21 to 11, 10 degrees. It's always this cycle. But looking at that, this is what's so important. If you have any planets in your birth chart that are 21 degrees or 11 degrees of a fire sign, which is what? Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, then you're in luck. This will give you great fortune. And one more thing, opposite that, 21 degrees of Libra. The oppositions in Vedic astrology are as powerful as the conjunctions. So 21 Aries, the fire signs, and Libra, or 11 degrees. And during these times, that's going to be when you experience this wonderment of opportunity, when Jupiter aspects any of your natal planets. But getting back to Jupiter, now I want to talk about how you can get a sense of what this Jupiter in Aries will be for you. And I want you to go back and think about how was it in the year May of 2011 through May of 2012. That was the very last time Jupiter was in Aries. And remember this too, the time prior to that, 12 years before, it was June of 1999 to June of 2000, June 1999 to June of 2000. Reminisce about what that brought you. Similar things will come about. Now going back to the nakshatras, Jupiter is transiting in Ashwini till June 21st. But because of the retrograde process, Jupiter will go back into Ashwini briefly November 26th. So it will be in Bharani from June 21st till November 26th. The nakshatra of breakthroughs and new inventions and beginnings. It's a little rough though sometimes in Bharani, but being born is not an easy thing. It's painful but necessary and brings new beginnings. So Jupiter will then be in Ashwini in its retrograde process from November 26th till February 3rd of 2024. So that will essentially be, it will be back in Ashwini for December 30th. But no, November 26th till February 3rd. So that will be essentially, what? About 2 months, a little over 2 months. So then February 3rd, it'll go back into Bharani where it will stay till April 16th. So it'll be back in Bharani from February 3rd till April 16th of 2024. And when it leaves Bharani, it's going to go into Kritika. That nakshatra symbol is a knife, a blade, a sword, and it cuts right through to the chase. So you're going to see things get more real when Jupiter transits into Kritika. And Kritika, it will stay there. It will stay there for briefly, actually, in Kritika. And it will be in Kritika only from April 16th of 2024 till June 12th of 2024. Now, it will be actually after May 1st of 2024, it's going to be in Taurus. So we're not going to worry about that, because what we're worried about is how Aries is going to bring Jupiter to bring new heights and new beginnings. Now, as I mentioned, one of the times that Jupiter very briefly came together with Rahu in Aries was the stock market crash of 1929. It was very brief at the latter degrees of this sign. So I'm really thinking that this reset that Jupiter's going to give while it is in Aries is not going to be the devastation that 1929 brought. It's going to be a new beginning, new revelations, things that need to change, a whole new reset. Very exciting. This is what the astrologers have been talking about with a new beginning. Yes, all the negative people out there about the economy are saying everything's about to crash and burn and all of that. I think it's going to definitely change, but this is going to bring a better world, a better economy, better things to come as events and situations happen this year with Jupiter and Aries bringing new beginnings, big changes, monumental change and transformation. But what you're going to see is because of these big changes, this big reset, yeah, it's going to be a little scary at first, but afterwards, soon afterwards, it's bringing a rebirth. And that's going to be a lot of good things to come for the planet, because everything has been being up in the air and exposed. And from this, we finally realize where the issues and the problems are. And when we realize where the problems are, we know how to fix it. So I'm looking at a revolutionary change, a reset in the world while Jupiter is transiting in Aries from April 21st, 2023 through May 1st of 2024. Look forward to what is necessary, what is needed to change and transform the world. That's what's going to happen. It will be thrilling, it will be exciting, and it will be monumental change. Watch and see what Jupiter's transit in Aries brings for us. So with that, I'd like to close. Remember, if you would like more information on me, you can always go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. And if you would like to learn Vedic astrology, go to my university website, become part of our community, University of Vedic Astrology.com. And one more thing, I almost forgot to mention that when Jupiter comes together with Rahu, I have a conference in Dallas, Texas. It will be June 2nd through the 5th. Check it out. The speakers are off the charts exciting. You'll want to be there. Come to Dallas, easy place to fly to. This is going to be this year when Jupiter comes together with Rahu. And that's going to be, once again, June 2nd through the 5th. See you in Dallas. Thank you.